chosen ones, empaths, you could be in a place now where you haven't heard from the narcissist in a while. You've come across Hoover videos online, and you're thinking, oh, the Hoover hasn't happened yet. The Hoover hasn't happened yet. You're wondering, you're thinking it hasn't happened, right? Or you're waiting for the Hoover or something like that, right? What you got to understand is this narcissist has most likely already hoovered you. That's not to say another Hoover won't happen, but you got to think back and reflect. Only you're going to be able to do this. Back to the last interactions, near the last interactions that you had with the narcissist, right? The thing that's like often misconstrued about the Hoover is people are expecting a declaration of love, right? Oh, I'm sorry I've done this to you. I want you back. Forgive me. Things like that. And that's really not often. It does happen like that in some cases, right? But a lot of the times Hoovers aren't exactly that, right? And they're more like a temperament checker to assess where you are at in your mind. They, like, just like a bug with their antennae, their feelers. They want to feel the environment. They want to get a sense of the environment. They want to get a sense of what you're thinking, because the narcissist doesn't ultimately know. They can have ideas in their mind, but they don't exactly ultimately know where you're at in your journey. So, you could have, let's just create a scenario now, right? You could have broken up with the narcissist. You went east, they went west, and they arranged to meet up with you, right? They arranged to meet up with you. They said they'd meet up with you. And then they flaked on you, right? That was your Hoover, right? That was your Hoover. I'm just using that as an example. They said, we'll meet up, and then they flaked on you, and then you was like, what? That was your Hoover already. They were assessing the situation and checking your temperament to see if you were still interested and willing to engage with them. And that was your Hoover when it happened, right? Another example could be you hadn't spoken to them, and then they said, oh, you've left something at my house, or I've got something at your house. That was your Hoover, right? That was your Hoover. So oftentimes these are overlooked because you're in a place of hurt and pain. You really have to think back to your situation. I guarantee something has already occurred with the narcissist. Please remember, like I said, it's not a declaration of love. It's not forgive me, I'm sorry. It's not that a lot of the times. It can be, and that might happen to you in the future, right? But for now, they've already done their Hoover, right? And that's often why they'll go into a silent Hoover. What you got to understand is when a narcissist goes silent, this is a reverse Hoover, right? This is to draw you out now. They go silent. They've already done their Hoover, and now they play the silent game to try and draw you out. So you message them, so you contact them, so you reach out to them. Please don't. But that's often why narcissists go silent. It's called a reverse Hoover. And that's what they're putting you through. They're putting you through the silent treatment as a reverse Hoover to make you engage with them, to draw you out, right? To Hoover you back in, right? Without actually doing anything, just them maintaining silence, right? So that's a form of a Hoover that you're probably receiving now anyway. But I guarantee when you look back at your journey, there were things that they done, during the last days, you may have had a few exchanges of messages after you broke up, after you went your separate ways. You had a few messages going back and forth. That was your Hoover. If you've still got those or haven't deleted those, look back. You'll see that they were trying to Hoover you back in, right? Because oftentimes they've already realized that they fucked up, right? And they want to make sure that you're still on board with the relationship so they can continue about their business. If you want to stay informed on topics like these, subscribe to the channel. Remember, if you want to shed some light on a personal situation, book a one-to-one session. I do all countries and time zones. Links in the description box. So often they will do these things during your last interactions as a form of a Hoover. Another thing that could have happened to you is you could have been on social media, for instance, if you are on social media, and some weird accounts have been trying to add you, right? You may have accepted them, you may not have accepted them. Oftentimes these are narcissists behind the fake profiles, and they're hoovering you from the fake profile, right? Another thing that could have happened is you could have blocked each other, right? You could have both blocked each other. And the narcissist may have taken the block off, right? This is what often happens, maybe after a period of time. Once the dust settled, they'll take the block off of the social media or whatever they've blocked you on, or the phone. They'll take the block off, and usually there's ways that you'll be able to tell if you're still blocked, even if you don't send a message. There's usually indicators that you can see, and they'll do this as a Hoover. You see, so they're playing a very cunning game now. You know what I'm saying? What you're expecting to receive from them is transparency, truth, you know, real expression from the heart. And you're not going to get that a lot of the times. A lot of these covert narcissists won't do that. They're very stubborn. They're very concerned that you may reject them as well. So that's why they don't open up their feelings. Even if they know they've messed up and chosen the wrong path. Right, they'll stay stubborn and ingrained in their pursuits to try and find a new supply that can surpass you, which they won't find. But they'll often do this behavior because they're very stubborn and they're afraid of opening up to you and letting you know that they have, in fact, realized they fucked up, right? So they'll put these temperament checkers out, and if they know, you know, like I mentioned, if they said to you, okay, let's meet up, and then they flaked on you, they know you're still willing to engage in the relationship, right? That's enough for them in their minds. They know that you, the former supplier, is willing to engage. That's enough for them. They don't need to meet you. They just need to know that you're still willing to engage with them, right? That's why they would have flaked on you, you know? Even if they're texting you and you're going back and forth, or phone calls and you're going back and forth, you know, that's a Hoover, you know, because they know you're still willing to engage with them. They know you're still willing to have a conversation with them. That's a form of a Hoover. So what you got to understand is a lot of these things have gone over your head because you're in a place of hurt and pain. Naturally, it's going to go over your head. You don't realize. That's what I'm saying. It's going to take you to get further down the line. You might not even realize after this video. You might even realize in the future something's going to pop up in your mind. But this video is about trying to help you understand that a Hoover's already come. So stop waiting on the Hoover to come, because it's most likely you've already received one, right? It's not to say that there's not going to be another one in the future, right? Because they will most likely do another one in the future. But oftentimes the Hoovers come straight away, right? The Hoovers come straight away, you know? These interactions, however you know, converse with them through text, through phone calls, I guarantee something was said on their behalf that was like a Hoover. It's like a baiting. It's to try to draw you back, you know? And you're so hurt and in pain that you don't even notice it, you know? You don't even notice it. You don't even really notice what's happening, you know? But really, it was actually them trying to draw you back. So you've got to understand that some of these Hoovers that happened on you, you might not have engaged in them. So ultimately, the narcissist feels kind of rejected now. They'll feel rejected. They'll feel like, shit, that didn't work. Okay, let me resort to going silent. and they'll think they're thinking in their heads, let me resort to going silent to try to do a reverse Hoover and draw them out, you know, because you didn't engage in the Hoover that they already done, you know. During the last messages that were exchanged, they might have expected that you were just going to turn up at their house, and you didn't. They might have expected that you was going to phone them the next day, and you didn't. Or you were going to, they was anticipating that you're going to do something which you didn't do. So ultimately they may feel rejected, you know? That's what you've got to bear in mind. So please bear in mind, reflect back, you know? You probably think about them a lot. They're probably on your mind a lot, weighing heavy on your mind and stuff. So try and reflect about this, because it's most likely that something's happened along the way that was a Hoover already, you know? So it's just going to take you just to you know, sort through a lot of the crap. That's if you do want to take your mind there. But I guarantee something's happened that indicates a Hoover that's already happened. And you've got to see, you know, don't take these, you've got to look beneath the veil. Don't take these things as what they're saying they are. You know, like, for example, they said, oh, I've left belongings at your house, or you've left belongings at my house. Like, that, they don't mean I've left belongings at your house. You know, they don't mean that. You know, they mean something else. You know, if they said, oh, we'll meet up, and then they flake, they didn't mean they'll meet up. They were temperament checking you. They were doing a Hoover. They were sussing you out. The Hoover is about trying to figure out where your mind is at. That is what the Hoover is all about, right? Remember, like I said, it's not a declaration of love in most cases. It's not, I'm sorry, please take me back. In some cases that may happen. That may happen to you in the future. But a lot of the times it can be a fake profile. It can be weird stuff. It's often weird stuff. It could even be a hi, how are you? It could be anything. It could be weird. You know, it can be weird things. So look back, reflect back, and I guarantee something weird's happened from them that indicates they've already hoovered you. So anyway, enhance your experience. Get access to exclusive unseen videos and personal video requests. There's a 3-day free trial and can be cancelled at any time by going to your account page. Thanks for listening today. Please press the like and the subscribe button. If you want to donate, you don't have to, but if you'd like to support the channel, you can. Links in the description box below. For more narcissism-based content, check out our other channel. Links in the description box. Please visit the forums. One of them is Tips to Heal, and I'd love to find out what helps you on your journey. Please book a healing session with me if you need advice or some light shed on your situation. The Empath Monthly group meeting is coming up at the end of the month. Limited space is available. There's a WhatsApp group for survivors to stay in touch. I'm also doing email consultations if you need a plan of action. The links for all I've mentioned are in the description box below. To know more about what narcissists say and means are two different things, click this video here. So anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.